Welcome back. Now, the latest from Shivamogga and Karnataka, where a tense atmosphere prevails in the city. Over 1,000 police personnel have been deployed on the streets to maintain law and order. This after a procession carrying the mortal remains of the Bajrang Dal member were carried defying prohibitory orders. Over 5,000 people had participated, and there you can see there were incidents of stone pelting and arson reported. At least 10 people were injured in these stone pelting incidents. Let's go across to Shrija now for more. And Shrija, 5 people are said to be responsible for the murder of Harsha, and 3 of those have been arrested.
Yes, as far as the update from Shivamogga city is concerned, what we do know at the moment is nearly 3 people, they have been arrested and 2 others have been secured. They have been detained for questioning, and what we also do know is that one of them has a criminal background. Now, this has been confirmed by the Shivamogga City Police, and in several, at least about 3 to 4 cases, as far as the prime accused goes, he at least has 3 to 4 cases, and this includes especially for inciting communal kind of, protests and all of that, including the rioting. Now, this is something which he has a past criminal background. And what we also heard from the police is that the accused knew the victim also, and the victim was receiving threat calls for over the very recently and over the past at least a couple of years or so. As far as Harsha is concerned, he was a very active member in the Bajrang Dal. But however, his posts on the social media and Facebook, they were of communal tone. And clearly, he very recently also, he had participated in a couple of protests as far as the anti-hijab protest is concerned. So the police have zeroed in a few elements to understand that what exactly could have been the motive of the murder. But even now, they say they have ruled out this particular murder to the hijab protest.
All right, Shrija, thanks so much for joining us with the latest. And let's take a look at this ground report filed by Shrija.
25-year-old Harsha was an only son. A tailor by profession, he was actively involved in Bajrang Dal activities. Though police say he has a tainted past and that most of his activities have been provocative, people in his neighborhood say otherwise.
Accused of past history, but whether the deceased as well as the accused both know each other, our investigations will be soon revealing it, whether they have previous enmities and all.
Okay. What about Harsha, sir? Anything about Harsha as well? Any complaints or history of that?
Yeah, some history, some small cases are there, but still we have to ascertain it.
ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಇಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿರೋದು. ಈ ತರ ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಗುಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ, ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ
ಯಾವುದು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್.
ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ
ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗೋದು, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಕಾಗೋರು, ಈ ತರ ಅದು ಭಯಂಕರ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
The tension was palpable in Shivamogga's Azad Nagar after police fired tear gas to quell protests by residents. Vehicles were set on fire by protesters, shops vandalized. A battalion of police and rapid action force personnel were deployed and roads barricaded. Despite prohibitory orders, at least over 5,000 people took out a funeral procession for Harsha. There was mild stone pelting at Harsha's cremation, which took place as the police arrested 3 for the murder late Sunday night.
Large number of people taking out in procession. Now, how is that allowed, if you can explain to that?
It is not allowed, so we will take action for the violation of this particular sections.
The war of words over the murder continues.
मुझे लगता है एक साजिश है. साजिश करके उनका हत्या किया है.
ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಸಜ್ಜನ 22-23 ವರ್ಷದ ಹುಡುಗ, ಮದುವೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಗೂಂಡಾಗಳು ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Ishwarappa is a very mad man. First sedition case has to be booked against him, and the BJP national leaders has to first sack him, because no one in this country can pardon him.
It's a very tense atmosphere as far as Shivamogga district is concerned. Nearly 2 people have been arrested and 3 of them have been secured by the police. However, the cops are not really able to confirm whether the accused have political links or not. But what we do know at the moment here is the police have clamped, especially section 144, to ensure no untoward incidents take place. However, they have ruled out the Hijab Rav controversy involvement. But what they do say is that this could also be old rivalry. With DM Kumar, Shrija for NDTV in Shivamogga.
News from UP now, and Akhilesh Yadav hit back, declaring that an insult to the cycle is an insult to the entire nation. With the election in UP now moving to capital Lucknow in the eastern part, the political campaign may only get shriller given the high stakes.
साइकिल पे बम रखे हुए थे। जो बड़े नेता हैं वो बड़ा झूठ बोल रहे हैं। यहां समाजवादी पार्टी का जो चुनाव सिंबल है ना, उनका चुनाव का निशान है ना, तो शुरू में जो बम धमाके हुए वो सारे के सारे बम धमाके उन्होंने बम साइकिल पे रखे हुए थे। अब देखिए, साइकिल पे बम रखे हुए थे। मैं हैरान हूं, ये साइकिल को उन्होंने क्यों पसंद किया?
Outrage over the Prime Minister linking the 2008 Ahmedabad terror attack and the cycle, the pole symbol of the BJP's main rival in UP, the Samajwadi Party, during his UP election campaign.
साइकिल पे क्यों बम रखा गया? तो हर गरीब आदमी साइकिल चलाता है, तो हर आदमी आतंकवादी हो गया क्या?
Akhilesh Yadav fired back, declaring in this tweet that an insult to the cycle is an insult to the entire nation.
जिन नेताओं की भाषा बदली है वो जनता का समर्थन नहीं पा रहे हैं, और इस बार जनता ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी की खटिया खड़ी कर दी है, इसीलिए इनके बयान घटिया आ रहे हैं।
But this is not the first time the BJP has accused Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party of terror links. Its topmost leaders have regularly used campaign speeches to claim Akhilesh Yadav and his party are terror sympathizers.
जब सुरक्षा बढ़ी है, काम हुआ है, तो ये जो कैंपेन हो रहा है, ये जिन्ना और पाकिस्तान और साइकिल और इस सब पे क्यों हो रहा है?
ये तो राजनीति है, राजनीतिक लोग इस तरह के वो लगाते हैं, ब्लेम लगाते हैं, मगर हमारे योगी जी की वजह से और मोदी जी की वजह से आज हम कहीं भी गुंडागर्दी नहीं देखेंगे आप, ना बम ब्लास्ट, ना कुछ तरह का।
UP CM Adityanath too made a derogatory reference to the cycle.
केंद्र में मोदी जी और प्रदेश में जब दोनों एक साथ चलते हैं तो बुलेट ट्रेन की स्पीड से विकास बढ़ता है। आपको बुलेट ट्रेन चाहिए या पंचर वाली साइकिल?
With such a contentious campaign on across Uttar Pradesh, it is perhaps a bit ironical that Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has been booked in a poll code violation case for giving bites to the media inside his polling station in Safai, of all things. With camera person Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Welcome back. Anyone reporting on the Uttar Pradesh elections, as NDTV has been doing, would have heard a very common complaint of how the menace of stray cattle has worsened ever since the Yogi government came to power. Here's a special report.
आप कह रहे हो कि यहाँ इस वक्त गुस्सा है।
ये गाय बछड़े छुड़वा दे ना, हमारी सारी फसल नष्ट करती ना।
अच्छा।
400 डांगर यहाँ है और जिस खेत में बढ़ जाओ, खेत का क्या हालात है? क्या कर दिया बीजेपी ने?
From Muzaffarnagar district in western UP.
खेती बाड़ी करते हैं।
खेती बाड़ी है, खेत?
हाँ है, 4-5 बीघा।
4-5 बीघा है। क्या उगाते हैं उसमें?
है?
क्या उगाते हैं?
नहीं, यहाँ नहीं करे मिलत, कुछ लाई भर मिलत।
सरसों बस मिलती है।
सरसों बस मिलती है।
4 साल से जानवरों के कारण सरसों बस मिलती है।
अब 4 से गाय 3 से गाय फिर
कम से कम
वही
जानवरों की संख्या 500 से 600 है।
हाँ, इतने से कम
जो
नहीं।
खुले बछड़े छोड़ रहे उसकी
हाँ,
बात कर रहे हैं।
फिर आवे फिर रही है।
अच्छा,
क्या चले?
अच्छा, ये दिक्कत हो रही है।
उनके लिए गौशाला भी है, पर वहाँ गौशाला में कोई अंदर कर ही नहीं पाता।
अच्छा,
वो गाय बिड़ नहीं रही है,
तो इसीलिए तो पूरे खेत में गाय
पूरा में चला हार मतलब पूरे खेत में मिली। सत्यानाश कर।
To Bundelkhand in the south, the chorus is the same. Stray cattle destroying crops. According to government data, stray cattle in Uttar Pradesh has increased by almost 2 lakhs since 2012, a jump of 17%. The state government claims to have addressed the problem by charging a cow cess and using the funds to ramp up gaushalas across the state for farmers to leave their old cattle. The Yogi government has ramped up spending on preserving cattle in the state. In 2019-20, the government spent 203 crore rupees. By 21-22, the spending has more than doubled to rupees 424 crore. There are 5,664 cow shelters in Uttar Pradesh, where around 8 lakh cows have been preserved as of 31st January 2022. But it's not clear whether these are a part of the almost 12 lakh stray cattle in the state. But the reality of these gaushalas does not match the rhetoric. We see multiple gaushalas like these in the rural parts of Kanpur district. But many of the people here tell us that most of these did not exist a while back. Many of them have come up in the last couple of months, and some of them even just a couple of weeks ago in the run-up to the UP State Assembly elections. इस गांव के प्रधान हैं आप और आप ये गौशाला भी चलाते हैं यहाँ पे। ये सरकारी है कि प्राइवेट है ये गौशाला?
सरकारी है।
सरकारी है।
अस्थाई अस्थाई।
अच्छा, तो ये आप कह रहे थे यहाँ पे हमेशा से ये गौशाला था?
ना अभी 1 हफ्ते पहली तारीख से शासन से आदेश हुआ। हमारे बीडीओ साहब, एडीओ पंचायत साहब ने आदेश दिया कि भाई गाय संरक्षण करो।
ये कब से खुला है ये?
जी 1 महीना हुआ।
1 महीने हुआ है?
जी जी।
तो इससे पहले ये गाय कहाँ रहते थे?
सब ऐसे ही सब जंगल में घूमती थी।
अच्छा जी। नुकसान होता था?
जी।
कितना?
अरे बहुत होता था, आदमी हर जाते थे, खेत रखाते।
यहाँ पे गौशाला पहले से था?
हाँ, पहले से ही है। पूर्व कार्यकाल में जब सेक्रेटरी और जब एडीओ पंचायत उसमें थे आचार संहिता में, हमसे जो पूर्व प्रधान है उसने बनाया।
नया बनाया कि पहले से था?
नहीं, नया बना हुआ है।
कब से बना है?
ये पूर्व प्रधान के कार्यकाल में बना हुआ है।
कब कितने महीने?
1-1.5 साल पहले तैयार हुआ।
अच्छा,
लेकिन चालू अभी हुआ 5
चालू तो जब ये योगी सरकार ने मतलब टाइट अपना दिखाया रवैया था, वो 2-3 महीने
चालू कब से हुआ?
नवंबर से चालू हुआ।
But even these गौशालास are hard to run. तो कितना मिलता है शासन से?
जो हमारे सचिव है उन्होंने बताया 30 रुपया प्रति जानवर 1 दिन के चारा का, और 6,000 रुपया महीने 30 जानवर पे, या 30 से कम भी होंगे तब भी अगर 31 हुए तो 2 लेबर रखेंगे। ये है।
अच्छा, तो यहाँ पे अभी कितने जानवर हैं?
यहाँ पे हमारे पास 21 जानवर हैं। 15 रुपए किलो भूसा है। 2 किलो हम भूसा गाय को नहीं खिला पा रहे हैं, लेकिन शासन की और अपनी गांव की समस्या को देखते हुए जिसका एक हिस्सा भी नहीं अभी बन पाया है। सैकड़ों जानवर जो बड़े बड़े सांड हैं उनके तो लेबर चारे पानी देने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। भैया हमारे बस का नहीं है, मार देगा तो कौन इलाज कराएगा।
तो आप ये कह रहे हैं ये आपने अभी भूसा खरीदा है?
कल लाए हैं।
ये अब कितना भूसा लाए हैं? ये
22 कुंटल 88 किलो
अच्छा
पड़ा है।
अच्छा, ये कितने दिनों तक चलेगा?
ये जो हमारे 20 जानवर हैं तो 8 दिन 10 दिन या 12 दिन
अच्छा
की व्यवस्था।
और ये कितने में लाए थे आप?
34,000 कुछ रुपए पड़ेगा।
हाँ, 34,320 आएगा आपका। ये 10 दिन के लिए है और आपको 10 दिन के लिए सिर्फ 6,000 रुपए मिल रहे हैं और आपका खर्चा हो रहा है 34,000।
और इसी के साथ चोकर भी है, चोकर अंदर रखा है।
अच्छा,
भूसा अकेले तो खा नहीं लेंगे, उसमें अगर नहीं कुछ तो आधा किलो।
ठीक है।
एक टाइम में तो 1 किलो, वो 50 किलो 1200 रुपए मिलता है।
In this village in Chandauli district in eastern UP, the closest Gaushala is about 10 kilometers away. For many farmers in this rural part of Chandauli district, this is the only cow shelter that's nearby. Even that is about 8 to 10 kilometers away. But farmers tell us that even from here, because the arrangements are not up to par, the cows and the bulls tend to escape and come back to their fields. तो यहाँ पे पास में कोई गौशाला नहीं है, क्योंकि सरकार तो कहती है कि गौशाला बना दिए, वहाँ जाके छोड़ सकते हैं।
गौशाला है, पास में नहीं है, यहाँ से 8 किलोमीटर दूरी पे है, 10 किलोमीटर दूरी पे कुसाहा बोला जाता है, वहाँ पे है। लोग ले जाते हैं यहाँ से, वहाँ बांधते हैं, छोड़ने के लिए ले जाते हैं, वहाँ पे कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है, तो वहाँ से फिर भाग के चले आते हैं, गाँव में आ जाते हैं, किसी और गाँव में जाके नुकसान करते हैं। अच्छा जी। तो लेकिन ये पहले भी होता था, आप खेत में नुकसान होती थी जानवरों के कारण? नहीं, पहले तो नहीं होता था। अच्छा, ये कब से है? ये जब सरकार बनी है तब से है ये। अच्छा। उससे पहले नहीं था। तो उससे पहले लोग क्या करते थे? बेच देते थे उसको। अच्छा। खरीदने वाले आते थे, उसको बेचते थे। तो अब क्यों नहीं बेचते? वो लेते ही नहीं है। लेंगे तब तो बेचेंगे हम। वो लोग डरते हैं प्रशासन पकड़ लेगा। बेचना नहीं है, छोड़ना है गौशाले में। गौशाले में कोई व्यवस्था नहीं खाने पीने का है।
फसल है ये अरहर की खेती है, दाल की। तो अब क्या है कि उधर देख रही हैं, वो सब नुकसान, वो सब चढ़ गए हैं सब। वो जो छोटे छोटे हैं ना, वो आगे वो ग्रोथ नहीं किए, वो पहले ही जो गाय हैं, बछड़े हैं, घड़रोज हैं, वो आके चढ़ दी। अच्छा। वो समझ लीजिए कि सब नुकसान हुआ। अच्छा, तो ये कब से है ये प्रॉब्लम? ये पहले से होता था या फिर नहीं? पहले से क्या, अब जानवर हैं, जानवर तो पहले भी थे ही, लेकिन अभी क्या है कि हमारे यहाँ गौशाला भी है, यहाँ से 8 किलोमीटर दूर पे, लेकिन फैसिलिटीज नहीं है वहाँ पे। अच्छा, पहले क्या था कि पहले दूसरे सरकार में क्या था कि लोग गाय बेच देते थे, बछड़े बेच देते थे। तो अभी क्या यहाँ पे एकदम बैन है, कोई गलती करता नहीं है, कोई लेने वाले भी नहीं लेते हैं। तो पहले उतना नहीं था, लेकिन अभी धीरे धीरे जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है, तो उसके वजह से सब प्रॉब्लम तो हो रही है।
The village head who helps run the shelter agrees, while insisting that things have started to improve since he took over 8 months ago. पास के जो गांव वाले थे वो कह रहे थे वहाँ पे आपके यहाँ सुविधा बहुत कम है, जो हमने भी देखा, सुविधा बहुत कम है। और ये भी उनका ये कहना था कि यहाँ से जो है गाय भाग जाते हैं, कभी छोड़ जाते हैं, फिर वहीं से, क्योंकि बाउंड्री कुछ नहीं है, कभी छूट के निकल जाते हैं।
तो बाउंड्री जब तक पूरा नहीं होगी, तो ये बताइए कि 4 आदमी उस जंगल में रह रहे हैं, तो कितना देखेंगे? अगर कोई आया हथियार भिड़ा दिया, अब तो नहीं, हमारे कार्यकाल में नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन समस्या तो है ही है।
हाँ, आपके इलाके में वो कह रहे थे कि एक ही गौशाला है, तो कितने गाँव के लिए है ये एक?
बहुत गांव के लोग लाते हैं। अच्छा। और नहीं तो बाहर से, मतलब वो
कितने दूर दूर से आते हैं लोग?
जिले से भी ला देते हैं सब। अच्छा। जिले से भी पशु पकड़ करके ला देते हैं सब।
गौशाला कम है यहाँ पे?
गौशाला कम नहीं है, गौशाला जो है उतना ही, अगर बाउंड्री दे दिया जाए, अच्छी तरह से बाउंड्री हो जाए, तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
अगर लोग दूर से ला रहे हैं, इसका मतलब उनके बगल में तो नहीं होगा?
नहीं होगा। गौशाला अगर खूब बड़ा बना दीजिए और उसकी व्यवस्था नहीं है, तो उस गौशाला से क्या मतलब होगा? 30 रुपया आप मात्र दे रहे हैं एक पशु को, 30 रुपया में एक पशु खा लेगा? सवाल ही नहीं उठता है। अगर हम उसको चारा और खरी खिलाएंगे तो खा लेगा वो।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो अच्छा, चल रहा है, खिला रहे हैं हम लोग।
In some gaushalas like this one in central UP Sitapur, the conditions of the cow speaks for itself. All these regions all voted for the BJP last time. Will the anger against stray cattle hurt the party? On the face of it, most BJP voters say they will stick to the party. यहाँ पे जो जानवर का मसला बता रहे हैं, ये प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे? जी हाँ। अच्छा, क्या करते हैं
जानवर? मैडम, रात में सबसे ज्यादा परेशान करते हैं, और जो छुट्टा जानवर घूमते हैं, ये जानवर किसान अपने अपने खेतों में लेके लाठी डंडा बैठता है।
आपने पिछली बार वोट किया था?
जी मैम।
किसको वोट दिया था?
भाजपा को।
इस बार ही सोचे है?
जी।
किसको देंगे?
भाजपा को।
तो लेकिन आप कह रहे हो कि दिक्कत हो रही है, गाय फसल खराब हो रहा है और ये सब।
मैडम, भाजपा की नीतियाँ गंदी नहीं है। भाजपा की नीतियाँ बहुत अच्छी हैं, समाज कल्याण के हित के लिए हैं उनकी जितनी नीतियाँ हैं, और हम इसी वजह से भाजपा को लाइक करते हैं।
With camera persons Manoj Thakur and Rakesh Singh, this is Mariam Alavi for NDTV.
Welcome back. A tense atmosphere prevails in Shivamoga in Karnataka. Over 1,000 police personnel have been deployed on the streets to maintain calm. This after a procession carrying the mortal remains of a Bajrang Dal man were carried defying prohibitory orders yesterday. Over 5,000 people had participated in that walk or in that funeral procession. Stray incidents of stone pelting and arson were also reported yesterday. At least 10 people have been injured in the stone pelting incidents and around 8 vehicles damaged in the arson. 5 people have been held responsible in connection with the murder of the Bajrang Dal activist Harsha. 3 have been taken into custody. Section 144 has been clamped till tomorrow morning, and schools and colleges will remain shut. Here's a ground report.
25-year-old Harsha was an only son. A tailor by profession, he was actively involved in Bajrang Dal activities. Though police say he has a tainted past and that most of his activities have been provocative, people in his neighborhood say otherwise.
Accused of past history, but whether the deceased as well as the accused both know each other, our investigations will be soon revealing it, whether they have previous enmities and all.
Okay. What about Harsha, sir? Anything about Harsha as well? Any complaints or history of that?
Yeah, some history, some small cases are there, but still we have to ascertain it.
ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಇಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿರೋದು. ಈ ತರ ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಗುಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ, ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ
ಯಾವುದು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್.
ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ
ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗೋದು, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಕಾಗೋರು, ಈ ತರ ಅದು ಭಯಂಕರ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
The tension was palpable in Shivamoga's Azad Nagar after police fired tear gas to quell protests by residents. Vehicles were set on fire by protesters, shops vandalized. A battalion of police and rapid action force personnel were deployed and roads barricaded. Despite prohibitory orders, at least over 5,000 people took out a funeral procession for Harsha. There was mild stone pelting at Harsha's cremation, which took place as the police arrested 3 for the murder late Sunday night.
Large number of people taking out in procession. Now, how is that allowed, if you can explain to that?
It's not allowed, so we will take action for the violation of this particular sections.
The war of words over the murder continues.
मुझे लगता है एक साजिश है, साजिश करके उनका हत्या किया है.
ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಸಜ್ಜನ 22-23 ವರ್ಷದ ಹುಡುಗ, ಮದುವೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಗೂಂಡಾಗಳು ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
You know, Ishwarappa is a very mad man. First sedition case has to be booked against him, and the BJP national leaders has to first sack him, because no one in this country can pardon him.
It's a very tense atmosphere as far as Shivamoga district is concerned. Nearly 2 people have been arrested and 3 of them have been secured by the police. However, the cops are not really able to confirm whether the accused have political links or not. But what we do know at the moment here is the police have clamped, especially section 144, to ensure no untoward incidents take place. However, they have ruled out the Hijab Rav controversy involvement. But what they do say is that, confirm is that this could also be old rivalry. With DM Kumar, Shrija for NDTV in Shivamoga.
And Harsha's sister has also asked for justice, but also said if justice is not done, then the Bajrang Dal know what to do. Let's go across to Shrija, who joins us from there. What's the situation this morning, Shrija?
Well, at the moment, we are looking at heavy police deployment, at least about 1,000 personnel. And right now, it's a very calm atmosphere. But joining us here on the show is the Superintendent of Police, Mr. Lakshmi Prasad. Sir, can you tell us what is the situation like here in the city?
Right now, the situation is peaceful. There's very limited movement of people, and whoever is moving, it's either for government work or other important emergency work, or people are checking them and letting them through.
Okay, and also, sir, if you could tell us about any update in terms of arrests, how many secured or detained for questioning?
2 arrests have been made, which were declared yesterday itself. Okay. Further arrests are about to be made. Our teams are working in that direction, and shortly all arrests will be made.
Okay. So, did the victim know the accused before, or are these accused from Shivamoga city itself?
As per our investigation so far, accused are from Shimoga. Further details will come about during investigation.
Any information on the motive of this murder?
That will be part of our investigation.
Okay. As far as the police deployment is concerned, can you tell us how many personnel and which are the vantage points that we're looking at?
We have about 1,000 personnel covered, and they're covered mainly in the areas of Kote, Dotpete and Tunganagar areas. We have barricaded all the important sensitive areas and deployed points as well at all these areas. There are about 20 striking parties which have been deployed, and a company of RF also has been deployed.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. In fact, that was the SP of Shimoga City saying that at least about 1,000 personnel, police personnel, this includes the Rapid Action Force as well. What you see right here, onto my right here, is this particular stretch of road. Now, this is the entry point to where especially, the slain man, 25-year-old Harsha was living. This is in Bharati Colony where he was murdered. So yesterday what we did, of course, witness was, this is the same area, the spot where we saw there was a large gathering of two different communities is what we really saw. It was a very volatile situation. We had the police personnel, also the RAF, they were all riot gear and they were at certain vantage points. They were also using the tear gas as well to ensure they can disperse the crowd. But as far as yesterday's incident is concerned, the procession that we witnessed, this entire Shimoga City area where we are reporting from at the moment is Section 144 has been clamped. Prohibitory orders are in place. Also, the police are definitely, if they are spotting any gathering of at least 2 or 3 persons, they are questioning them, their purpose to be on that particular spot. But right now, the situation is very calm at the moment, and the police are on the alert.
Welcome back. Election news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will arrive in Imphal today for his first poll rally to be held in Chief Minister Biren Singh's Haingan constituency. However, massive security arrangements have been made already as the militant groups have given a boycott call of the Prime Minister's visit and called for a Bandh as well. The Coordination Committee, or CORCOM, a conglomeration of 6 banned armed groups in Manipur, has announced the boycott of the Prime Minister's visit. Now, yesterday, Rahul Gandhi was in Manipur in the poll-bound state. This is a make-or-break election for the Congress, a question for its political survival in the state and perhaps an opportunity for its revival in the northeast. Ratnadeep Chaudhary reports.
So when the BJP comes to Manipur and the RSS comes to Manipur, they come not with respect, not with understanding. They come with a sense of superiority. When I come here, I don't come with a sense of superiority. I come with humility.
Rahul Gandhi's direct attack on the BJP RSS at a poll rally in Imphal, signaling that the Congress may be down but not out. The grand old party that ruled Manipur for 15 years emerged as the single largest party in the 2017 polls. But the BJP cobbled up the numbers to form a coalition government. In the last 5 years, as many as 16 Congress MLAs have switched over to the BJP, leaving the party so depleted that it could put up only 54 candidates in the total 60 seats. Formed an alliance with the left parties and is looking forward to post-poll tie-up with smaller parties. Flashback to 2015 and Congress used to rule as many as 5 out of 8 states in the northeast. But now in 2022, they rule none. The BJP and its allies now rule all the states, and even as an opposition party, Congress has strength only in 2 states. But in Manipur, in 2017 elections, they emerged as the single largest party. So therefore, there is some hope left for the Congress. But former congressman and BJP's key strategist for Northeast, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, who was campaigning 50 kilometers away from Rahul Gandhi's rally venue, played down the Congress revival chances.
हम तो रास्ता में आ रहा था, कांग्रेस का गाड़ी जा रहा था राहुल गांधी का मीटिंग में, मैक्सिमम 6 से 7 गाड़ी और पृथ्वीराज जी का सभा में हजारों लोग, तो आज ही चुनाव का रिजल्ट डिक्लेयर हो गया ना.
Another challenge for the Congress, with many tall leaders gone, old guards still overshadow younger ones. 73-year-old three-time Chief Minister Ibobi Singh is still the face in Manipur. Many wonder if this is his last election. In Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
Now, even as the campaigning for Manipur polls is intensifying, two allies are on the verge of turning political rivals in a major political development. While campaigning in Manipur, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, who is also the key BJP strategist in the northeast, hit out at ally NPP, which is fighting against the BJP in Manipur, saying that none in India knows that Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma-led NPP or the National People's Party, and voting for its candidates in Manipur elections would be fruitless as the party has no value.
जो लोग एनपीपी का साथ है, आप लोग को मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ, एनपीपी का कोई दिल्ली में गवर्नमेंट नहीं है। एनपीपी का सरकार बनने का मतलब है कोई मोदी जी का सामने जाके बोलेगा हमको कुछ दीजिए। हमको इनडायरेक्ट क्यों जाना है? हम डायरेक्ट जाएगा, मोदी जी का ही सरकार बनाएगा और मोदी जी का सरकार से ही हम मणिपुर का विकास के लिए काम करेगा, मणिपुर का प्रगति के लिए काम करेगा। ये एनपीपी आप लोग भूल जाइए, ये सब पार्टी का कोई वैल्यू नहीं है।
एनपीपी जब रिजल्ट आएगा आप देखेंगे कि एनपीपी सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी होगी मणिपुर में, सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी। द रीजन व्हाई टुडे पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड एक्सेप्टिंग द नेशनल पीपल्स पार्टी is because the National People's Party has got its roots in the state of Manipur. The National People's Party has got its roots in the northeast. We are the only political party in the country today that was born in the northeast and is made in the northeast, and today is fighting for the northeast.
News now from Tamil Nadu, where counting is on for the urban local body polls there. After 10 years, on Saturday, elections were held for 21 cities, including Chennai, 138 municipalities and 490 town panchayats to elect more than 12,000 members over the last 5 years. These bodies did not have elected representatives as elections were not held. Let's go across to Sam now for more. And Sam, so what are you hearing? What is the latest?
Well, the counting has just begun. We'll have to wait for the initial trends. As we speak now, the counting of postal ballots is on Gargi. But as you said, it's politically significant for the ruling DMK, which is hoping for a fourth consecutive win. Something which began with the Lok Sabha polls, then the assembly elections, and then the more recent rural local body elections. And it hopes that this will be able to consolidate its position across the state. For the opposition, the AIADMK, it's an opportunity to revive its political fortunes after suffering 3 successive poll defeats. And particularly all eyes would be on the results from the western part of Tamil Nadu, an AIADMK bastion. If the DMK manages to win, that's a big victory for the party. Although generally the trend is the local body elections favor the ruling party. And for the BJP, which doesn't have much of a presence, the party is quite upbeat after it won 4 assembly seats in the last assembly elections. And this time it's fighting alone, parting ways with AIADMK, hoping to expand its footprint in the state. We'll have to see whether it's making any impact fighting alone, particularly in pockets like Coimbatore and Kanyakumari, where it's comparatively stronger. And at the moment, it may take at least a few more hours to get a clear sense of the trend. The AIADMK has been targeting the ruling DMK of failing in its promise of delivering the 1,000 rupees monthly allowance for women heads of families. But a few days ago, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had said that will be definitely announced. Many question why the delay. Of course, it also raises questions in terms of the state's financial condition, in terms of making this a regular feature every month. And we'll have to see how it happens. But certainly, the normal trend is it favors the ruling party. So, in a few hours from now, we'll have more clarity. This election results would also be seen as a report card on the functioning of the Stalin government over the last 9 months, Gargi.
All right, Sam, thanks so much for joining us with the latest. So, counting has just about begun there. Time for a break. On the other side, the UK Prime Minister has said there's no need to isolate after a COVID positive test.